Two. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Apologies for the technical difficulties. This is our first time doing a live broadcast on Facebook, so I'm kind of excited that we got it going, right?
No, good morning, Facebook. It was my fault that we're late because apparently we needed Google Chrome and I didn't know that. And so I had to download it and do all that stuff. So, but anyway, we're here now. We got it working. So we hope everybody's having a great Friday. And if you are home with kids, take a deep breath. I feel for you. I'm on week 1 of 3 boys at home. So we're surviving. I'm still alive and I'm still smiling. So you can do it too.
I still got a week until I get there, but I will be joining you there too. So no worries. We'll all be in the same boat. So this is our very first broadcast, and Maria Gonzalez Gorzito, I met her about 5 years ago. 5? Has it been 5?
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Wow, 5 years ago. And we quickly realized that we are 2 moms on a mission to get our kids healthy and strong and our family healthy and strong. And so we wanted to share some stuff with you today and hopefully some more in the future. So this is why we're doing this live broadcast, and something that her and I both deal with regularly is how to get your kids to eat more fruits and vegetables. And I mean little kids as well as big kids, because my husband falls into the same picky eater boat.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, so Marie and I came together to come and share some information with you, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to kick it over to her so she can share a few things, and then I'll take over, and then we'll keep chatting.
Yeah. So one of the things that that I have noticed, especially as my kids are getting older, is that now they are making more food choices on their own. And sometimes they are not the best food choices, as much as we try to give them healthy choices. But, you know, sometimes when they're at school or at a birthday party, and, you know, at the same time, they're kids, and, you know, they're kids and they like kids stuff, but it's not always the healthiest. So one of the things that I try to do is I try to sneak in fruits and vegetables wherever I can without them noticing. And honestly, some of them, like my middle one, for example, or my older one, actually, Daniel, like he's really good about, you know, being like, hey, make sure you put the leaves, you know, leaves or spinach or kale. And so in smoothies. And so I sneak it in a couple of different places. And before I say, you know, Jennifer and I also, we met 5 years ago, and we realized that we are kindred spirits because we're both from, she's sitting in New Jersey right now. I'm sitting in Texas, but I grew up in New Jersey when I was little. And so that's the beauty of Facebook. We are all over, but still connected. But anyway, I digress. Back to fruits and veggies. So one of the things I do is I try to sneak in fruits and veggies whenever I can. And so I do it, one of the ways I do it is in smoothies. And one of the ways I do it is in meats sometimes. But I'm going to stick mostly to smoothies. And so smoothies are really quick. They're easy. And they come in all colors because you can, depending what fruit you put them in. So it's really fun for kids also. And they can be very much involved in the smoothie making process. It's really easy. You know, there's not, you know, it's not like there's a lot of cutting or things that need to be done. So all you need is a smoothie maker. So you need your cup. You don't need a fancy smoothie maker. However, because, you know, if you want to sneak in veggies, I do recommend something like a NutriBullet or Blendtec, something that has really good blades that are going to be able to really mask and you know blend the stuff really well. So that's what you need, one of these. And then I usually do, you can use any base that you want for your smoothies. Like you can do water, you can do almond milk, I like to use almond coconut blend because I like the little sweetness of the coconut. You can do rice milk, you can do, you know, whatever it is that you want to use as your base. I mean, you can just do water and that's fine too. And so what I like to do is I like to put in usually like half a banana, for example. I'll put strawberries or raspberries, any fruit that you want, you can put in it. And then I like to sneak in some spinach or some kale. And you can even sneak in things like broccoli, frozen broccoli, frozen zucchini, anything that comes like in the frozen section, like you can stick it in there and blend it really well. And usually it's hidden and the kids don't even know that it's in there. And because it's raw and it's frozen, the taste isn't really very strong. So blueberries are a really good one. I like to use banana and blueberry a lot because of the blue color, the really strong tannins of the blueberry, which are really good for you, full of antioxidants, but that strong color masks the green of the spinach and the kale, for example. And so those are really fun ways that you can sneak in some vegetables for your kiddos, and they won't even know that they're in there. Also, make sure you have a really cool straw, because you drink things better when you have a cool straw. So recycle your straw afterwards, but they sell these really cool smoothie straws. They're nice and thick and they're fun. And I don't know why drinking things with a straw, it just makes life better, right? Straws are important. And so another thing that I do, my secret weapon also that I do, is I like to put this awesome protein powder in my smoothies as well. It's called Juice Plus Complete, and it comes in chocolate and vanilla. And the cool thing about it is vegan, it is gluten-free, dairy-free, it's low glycemic, which means it's not going to spike your blood sugar and then make you crash. And then on top of the actual fruits and vegetables that I just put in this cup, you also get things like quinoa, spirulina, mushroom powder, radish sprout, alfalfa sprouts, amaranth, all these other really great whole foods that your kids are getting. And also, I forgot to put this one, chia seeds, another little secret ingredient that I put in my smoothies as well, for the kiddos. For mine, and fiber and lots of omegas, and the kids don't even know that it's in there. So play around with smoothies. And the great thing about it is that you can't really mess them up. And if you mess them up, you just play with the recipe, add a little more banana, a little more almond milk, a little more ice, a little less. If it's too green, just start small. Put in a couple of leaves, 2 or 3 leaves, and then slowly and add. So really easy ways. And I actually like to also put, it's not smoothies, but I like to chop up spinach or kale in the food processor with like onions and garlic, and I kind of make a paste into making things like meatloaf or meatballs. You kind of massage it all in there, and then you're getting pasta sauce, also like red sauce. You can sneak all that in there as well. So really easy ways, and I promise, unless you have like the pickiest eater ever that can spot a piece of kale from a mile away, usually kiddos will not notice that it's in there. And if you make them part of the process, a lot of times kids like to be part of the process of cooking and making things, or growing things. If you have a tower garden or you have some type of garden in your house, seeing how food is grown and then being used for their nutrition is a really cool way to also get kids involved and wanting to eat more fruits and veggies. So if you want some smoothie recipes, let me know, post below, and I'm happy to give you some of my favorites. I think my all-time favorite is the banana and blueberry one, just because it's sweet and it just masks everything. And if you have a really picky eater and you need to mask something a little bit more, a date is a really good fruit that you can put in there because it's really sweet. Don't put too many, only put one or even half of one because they've got a lot of sugar. It's natural sugar found only in the fruit itself, but it's still a lot of sugar. But it's a good way to mask any greenness that you might have in the smoothie. So I
found that my kids are big on colors with smoothies.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a girl thing because in case you don't know, Maria has 3 boys and I have 3 girls. So girls, I'm not sure about the boys, but girls definitely love colors. And I named them. I don't know. Do you name yours?
No, I haven't named them, but I have asked, I do sometimes ask them okay, what color smoothie do you want today? And so they'll be like purple or, pink or yellow or whatever. So, that's a good way to get them to try new fruits and vegetables. Because if they tell you yellow, you can add pineapple in there, add mango in there, stuff that maybe they won't typically eat, but it's, they said yellow. So
yellow it is. Sometimes we call ours like the princess smoothie and we'll make it pink. We'll add some strawberries, or if I have like cherries, I'll throw in some cherries in there. Strawberries are great for diluting that color, that green a little bit and making it more red than green. The green, if it's green, I sometimes use some green apples. Mm-hmm. And my kids are not big on pears, so I will also use pears in the green smoothies, and we call them monster smoothies. And we do purple power smoothies. princess smoothies, orange popsicle smoothies, things that kind of they associate with something they like. It's just mind tricks. We got to use Jedi mind tricks with our kids sometimes. Feel the veggie force type of thing. I noticed that. I hope they never see this video because then they're going to know all the stuff that I put in there. That's not going to be good. But anyway, I digress.
That's a really good idea though, because kids, I never even thought of that, like, Superman smoothies, Princess Power smoothies, because kids love all that. They have something they can connect with.
Yes. And for them, it's very emotional. It's visual. It's my kids, they see something and they're looking at it and they're kind of giving it that sideways look like, this looks a little suspect. But if I call it something familiar to them, they're okay with it. Like they've had orange cream popsicles before. So they're like, okay, yeah, I'll try that smoothie. And I have also found that it's got to be cold. For some reason, my children are very picky and they need it's got to be like ice cold, lots of ice for some reason. Even in the winter, they're good with cold smoothies.
Yeah, I like ice. I like a lot of ice in mine too. And keep in mind, ice, the more ice, you can change the texture of your smoothie. I don't like my smoothies super thick, but some people do. I don't like it watery either, but I have my happy medium of I know how much ice I put in it. And just play with that. If you add more ice and water, then it becomes more of a slushy, especially now with summer.
Yes.
Summertime, watermelon. You can add watermelon water, a little bit of the vanilla complete, lots of ice, and it becomes a slushy. And it's
love that.
Fun and refreshing. And
it's like you have slushies. We have what do they call it? Slurpees. So we sometimes use Slurpee.
Oh, yeah.
Slurpee names to name our smoothies, but the big hit has been by far chocolate milkshake. And chocolate, I have found, has been a great way to mask a lot of the green. Chocolate juice plus complete with a chocolate coconut water. I prefer Zico coconut water. Has been super hit. And you make them nice and thick, they really feel like they're having a chocolate milkshake. So that's our smoothie stuff. Anything else?
That's my secret. That's like my secret when I want some type of like Reese's peanut butter cup or something like that in the afternoon. You want something sweet. Oh my gosh, do you know what I made the other day? Listen to this. I made my own frappuccino because I really wanted coffee.
Do share.
Yeah. Okay, so this was the first time I did it, and I think I need to tweak it a little bit more. So I'm going to keep working on it. Maybe I needed to add a little bit more ice, I think, and a little bit more coffee. So I had leftover coffee in the pot. I didn't want to make a whole just for me.
Okay.
And so I did ice. I did a little bit of that almond. I think I did too much liquid was what I did. But I did a little bit of the almond coconut milk. I should have done less of that and more coffee. And then I did a good scoop of the chocolate powder and then some cinnamon. And I actually did put a banana in there because I like the creaminess in the smoothies.
Yes.
So banana, I do like half a banana. It's a good way to put it in. Or if you're really hungry, I needed that smoothie to take me, it was my pre-workout. I was teaching a cycle class later. So I actually put in a whole banana for that. But I'm thinking avocado would have been a good thing to put in it too.
Good.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So I made my own frappuccino. I added some coffee in it and it was way healthier, less sugar. And it was really good. It was not bad at all. I think I need to tweak the recipe a little bit, but it's a good, it was not bad. I think that's going to be part of my repertoire.
Your go-to early morning?
My go-to early morning. Yeah.
I agree.
Or my afternoon. Yeah.
My evening one, I will add a scoop of that PB peanut butter powder.
Uh-huh.
That's, I have found for me, we're digressing from kids, but hey, moms need a little oomph too, right? I have found for me, that has been the best thing since sliced bread to make a Reese's peanut butter chocolate smoothie. And I swear by everything that I'm having it. I'm just having it, except I'm just eating it through a straw. And it's okay. However, I can have chocolate and peanut butter together and make it taste like a Reese's peanut butter cup is okay by me.
That's one of my favorites too.
I love that PB powder. It's like, oof, all the time.
One of my faves. But wait, one more thing.
Yeah.
I was just thinking with going back to the slushies and Slurpees and ices and, here in Texas, it is so dang hot all the time. And, we have snow cone trucks. Like snow cones are a big thing here. But, snow cone syrup is not very good. It's, red number 5 and tons of sugar. I mean, it's fake colors and stuff. And, I get it. My kids had one. They had one at the swim meet the other day because the snow cone truck is there. And sometimes, it is what it is. But
I agree.
They're kids and it's summer. And so, but a good way to kind of remake your own Slurpee or slushy or snow cone is doing like lots of ice with the water and watermelon. You can make it a red Slurpee. You can make it, with blueberries, maybe make it a blue Slurpee. And it's kind of the same concept, but I'm going to try that with my kiddos and see how that works.
Yeah, we should give that a try. They're big on Slurpees. They like these rainbow color Slurpees. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. But we'll put our heads together and we'll do it.
Yeah. And if you guys have any ideas, things that work really well in your house with your kiddos on ways of sneaking in vegetables, definitely let us know. Put it, we can post it below and add it on to the list.
Yes, please share. Please share. 2 of my go-tos for Sneaky Vegetables. If I have found that we've had a week of a lot of eating out and we've kind of been more on the less vegetable side and more starchy side, because let's face it, kids have texture issues and carbs are kind of like their friends for the first 6 years of their life. I do a cauliflower Alfredo sauce. So I use Alfredo sauce loosely. It's Alfredo sauce to them. So that's okay. But it's all cauliflower. It's not non-dairy. And I actually found it on a website called Oh She Glows. And I was really, really happy about finding this because it was a great way to incorporate cauliflower so that my kids can actually eat it. And I posted that link there so you guys can check it out. But it's 1 big heaping spoon, a couple of big heaps of boiled cauliflower. And the liquid base is almond milk. And you add a little salt, a little minced garlic. I add a little butter, and on occasion, if I have it on hand, I will add some, like maybe a drizzle of Parmesan cheese just to give it a little salty taste to it and that nutty flavor that Alfredo sauce has. But it's creamy. It comes out super creamy. They're none the wiser. They have no idea that it doesn't have an ounce of any of that cheese or cream or anything. And they've just had maybe 2 or 3 servings each of cauliflower. So good luck trying to get them to eat cauliflower like raw or steamed or whatever. But this way, over pasta, it's absolutely my go-to. Very, 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 very big on my cauliflower Alfredo sauce. So, and I also, just to make life a little bit easier for moms, I buy the cauliflower frozen. Because sometimes if you buy the fresh one, it just, you forget it's there, it's in the drawer and you're like, oh no, it's turning purple. So I like to buy the frozen ones. Trader Joe's has them for really inexpensive. I buy a couple of bags. I throw them in some water. It takes about 20 minutes. You cook the cauliflower while the pasta's going and I'm done. I also do mac and cheese with that same recipe, except I'll add some squash to it to make it yellow. My kids eat through their eyes. So I'll add some squash, whatever I have on hand, acorn, butternut, pumpkin, if you have it. Throw in the squash, give it that nice salty, nutty flavor. I might sprinkle like a fistful of cheddar just so it gets kind of that stringy texture that they're looking for. But it's maybe a handful. And at this point, they don't need it anymore. They're kind of convinced that it is what it is in their eyes. But it works great and they love it. It's mac and cheese and that's it. Sometimes my older kids, my twins, they don't mind broccoli too much. My little one, if she sees broccoli on anything, she's running the other way. So for my older ones, I'll make it and I'll throw in like real broccoli, leaves, or not leaves. What do you call them? Broccoli trees? What do you call them?
I don't know. Call them trees. Yeah, we call them trees.
Broccoli trees.
Yeah.
We throw in some broccoli trees in there and then we'll have the elbow pasta and it's mac and cheese with broccoli and they love it. So, I mean, it's really, really good. The other thing I sneak into as well is the sauce. Whether you use a jar or you make your sauce from scratch, I will do that paste of kale, spinach, whatever I have on hand. I'll even throw in some carrots. Carrots is a good way if you can steam them
Mhm.
and whip them up in your blender or your smoothie maker or whatever you have, your food processor. You blend it up really, really well. It's just an easy way to add kale, spinach, and carrots in your pasta sauce because the tomato will overpower
Absolutely.
that
Tomato
texture.
is everything.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. And then the last thing I do is I will add some fruit, some vegetables to my rice. So again, I am whipping them up. I will, and the thing for me is I have to have a good blender because my biggest critic is my really big kid, the one that I married. And he's just like, if he can taste it or see it, he's just kind of like, the side-eyed look again. But I have found that making that investment in a good blender, whether it's the Ninja or the Vitamix, I swear by my Vitamix, I will blend that up really fast, and I can pretty much put that paste in anything. When I make beans, when I make like fried rice, the homemade fried rice, when I make the pasta sauce or the fake mac and cheese, if you will. I don't know what to call it. If I have that blended really, really well, they're less likely to taste. It's just part of the gravy. It's just part of the juices,
Yeah.
if you will. And even if you're making like stewed meat or something like that in your crock pot, take the juice of the crock pot and I'll add like a steamed squash to it and just whip it up. Carrots, anything to give it a little color and gravy. And they think they're having gravy. They don't know that they're having, 5 fruits and vegetables. And then the biggest thing I do on occasion, depending if it's meatloaf or sauce, I will add some Juice Plus. Boop, boop, boop. And that's like my secret ingredients. I'll just use a capsule of it because, Juice Plus has, what are we up to now? I don't know, 23, I don't know. A whole bunch of fruits and vegetables. More than they would ever eat and more than I would ever cook in a meal. I put in a couple of capsules of it just to give it a little oomph, a little extra, because Lord knows it's so hard to get it into their meals and snacks and so forth that it's just not going to happen for a lot of us. It's just busy all the time. But every little bit helps. And I always say, I'd rather have them eat a little bit of something than nothing. So even if they're having a little bit of broccoli, a little bit of squash, and it's that repetition. I use some of these recipes almost every week because they're just little creatures of habit. And once they get used to eating something, they're just going to keep doing it. So, nobody knows.
Like their palate. So the more that fruits and vegetables, you're changing what you're eating. Like you start to crave the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I found with track season, because I use smoothies as a post-workout recovery drink for them, especially if these kids are doing sports in the summer, I have found that if I don't have a smoothie for them right after track and I'm like, I make it before practice, it's sitting in my car in these like really expensive stay cool bottles so they can stay cold. And they're like, okay, where's my smoothie? Where's my smoothie? Like they're fiending. They're like craving it. So, and it's always a surprise. They're like, what'd you make? Oh, I make up a name and they're just kind of like, okay, great. But they start looking forward to it. 3 times a week we have it now. And it's just something that has become habitual. They're craving it. You're right. You're absolutely right. But those are my go-tos. So if you guys have something to share, please do. I have found lots of sneaky little ways of getting fruits and veggies into things. And the more we share and collaborate, the healthier our kids will be and ourselves. Because I eat the same food they eat. So yep. Lord knows I need the same types of nutrients they do. So, and I have to say, this is the beauty of working for a company that educates you and that we can connect from Texas to New Jersey on how to get your kids healthy. And this is just, a community of people that are looking to get their kids on a healthy track. And so I love sharing stuff. I love sharing mom hacks. So
mom hacks.
Yes, veggie mom hacks. That's what we should have called this. Veggie mom hacks.
Is the key is, I think, also getting them early. The younger they are, the earlier they are, getting them used to these healthy habits. Because I know in my household, I grew up in a house that didn't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I don't know if it was just a Latin thing, a Cuban thing. I don't know. Like, a lot of rice and beans and plantains and meat. There was no kale and spinach in my house growing up. And so
no.
I didn't discover that till way later in my life. So if I can do that for my kids a lot earlier, it's a huge success.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I feel bad for my husband. He's kind of a product of the same house upbringing, I should say. It must be a Latino thing because we didn't have too much greens, but my mom was kind of big on salad, I have to say, and she was big on fruit. So salad, lettuce and tomatoes and a big old pile of dressing.
yeah. Well, mine has like iceberg lettuce and tomatoes and maybe some avocados sometimes, and that was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what was. Thank goodness, at least avocados were in there early on. But but it wasn't, not the variety of fruits and vegetables that we eat now that we know are so good for you and they just make a huge difference in your health, in your long-term health. I mean, not just your health, your skin, your gums. I mean, everything from the inside out. So I'm glad we can do it earlier for our kids.
Yes, the sooner the better, people. The sooner the better. So that's it. That's all I got today. What else you got? Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. So I just wanted to sneak in that Marie and I have been brainstorming, and we've got a lot more that we want to cover and share with everyone. So stay tuned for our broadcast. We will be broadcasting more often. Some of these will be with and without our children because let's face it, we can only keep those critters in school for so long. And that's it. So they will be home and they will be put to work. So we're going to be talking about hydration, how to get them hydrated, how to get yourselves hydrated. We're going to be talking about our gardens, from garden to plate. Yes, I love talking about tower gardens because one, it's expensive to buy organic and non-GMO, and it's also a great opportunity for kids to learn a lot. So we're going to talk about gardening. We're going to talk about meal prep, kids snack prep. We're going to have the kids involved, how to get your kids involved. Anything else you can think of?
We can even do something about, easy workouts also. Jennifer and I are both fitness professionals as well. So we can talk about easy,
I got to bring my arm up. How do I show my arm?
I know.
There we go.
Better than
I'm going the wrong way.
But, there's so many things that we can healthy living, just living a healthy lifestyle, not just, I'm going to eat healthy for 2 weeks because I'm on a diet, I have a wedding coming up or the beach season. We want it to be a lifestyle and an everyday thing. Forever.
I don't diet anymore. I've even done away with the word. I'm never going on a diet.
I don't have one.
We'll talk about that too. That's a great topic too, dieting. Mm-hmm. Dieting versus lifestyle versus habit, non-dieting. Anyway, we've got lots to talk about, folks.
Write it down.
Yes, write it down. We will be here hopefully on a weekly basis. Friday seems to be Friday food day for us. So I don't know. I love talking about food any day of the week, but we'll see. All right, Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. Share, comment. We'll be back soon. Later, Gators.
Bye.